Today's game flow presented to us by Progressive. From Minneapolis, a 14-6 Philadelphia lead. Vikings have the ball to start this third quarter. Welcome back inside the booth. Adam Amin, Greg Olson, Pam Oliver down on the field as well. Philadelphia trying to settle back in, snap this two-game skid. Hurts look pretty sharp. What do you want to see here in this second half as Minnesota gets the ball?
I'd like to see both offenses just be more aggressive on first and second down.
Here is Price. Pam Oliver, we go.
Yeah, Adam, the Eagles offense started hot but then cooled significantly. I talked to Nick Sirianni about what's going on with the group. How do you get them revved up? He said, well, they are getting good pressure on us, but we have to stay ahead of the sticks. Defensively, very, very pleased with the way that group is playing. Lights out is how he put it, but he wants this to be a group thing, complementary football.
There is a play action. Wentz pumps and then throws it to C.J. Ham, the fullback. Zach Baun is there for the stop. He'll pick up about 5 on first down. Remember, no Aaron Jones. One more game still on injured reserve. Sticking with Mason, and Baun is there. Short gain of a couple.
You know, remember last year, so much of the success of Philadelphia was the versatility of Zach Baun. Free agent signing, probably the best bargain in all of the league. A year ago, his ability to play off the ball backer and then play on the edge in some personnel groupings. They've shifted that here today to Jihad Campbell. Baun, we've pretty much just seen as an off-ball run and chase backer here against Minnesota.
All-Pro last year for the first time. It is Michael Juergens playing at center, so we've seen both Brandel, who had some struggles in the first half, and now Juergens. Wentz fakes it, running out of time, and just throws the ball ahead for an incompletion.
Yeah, I think it's
there should be grounding because there wasn't a receiver in the area.
Yeah, I'm rounding.
Yeah, I'm not.
Office number 11. 10-yard penalty. Lost it down. Third down.
So it's basically an incompletion, loss it down, and the yardage penalty here.
Yeah, but just throw the ball to C.J. Ham. He's wide open. I mean, it's just a play action, fullback in the flat. This is Spider 2 Y banana, John Gruden. This play's been the day one install of every team in football for the last 25 years, and just throw him the ball.
It's a surprising play from a guy who's played as much football as Carson Wentz has. Knowing that that's going to be a penalty, you're already in good range to try to score a touchdown. Now it's third down and 18 back at the 19-yard line. It's been some very questionable plays by Wentz today. So now Philadelphia is just going to play coverage here. So underneath Hawkinson, Baun is there along with DeJean. So now it'll be 4th down and 9, and the field goal unit's coming.
Yeah, so go back. So, you know, I'm joking. Spider 2 is probably Spider 3. It's fast to the flat, play action. They're going to release. It's usually a very goal line play. He's wide open. Just throw him the ball. The first read of that play is fast fullback in the flat, and then if they jump the flat, you have some layers over the top, and just didn't see it.
Xavier Gipson from the 9. Look at the speed of Gipson. Takes it out near the 35. There is a flag thrown on the play. Hurts will come out passing. Smith slides down in front of Cashman at the 21 to make the catch. Picks up 5.
Yeah, and remember, it wasn't even so much that the run game was just, they were piling up a lot of yards, yes. But, I mean, you think back to some of those playoff games. I mean, it's 70-yard touchdown, 65-yard touchdown. I mean, the explosive element of that rushing attack was just historically good. And it's hard to sustain that. There is always a little bit of a regression in those areas. And this second half will be a great time to rediscover it if you're Philadelphia.
It is Brett Toth at center. with Juergens dealing with an injury. Deep drop for Hurts, trying to find something downfield. And it's Devontae Smith. He's loose. He's got it. He is gone. Touchdown, Eagles. Lightning strike to Devontae Smith from 79 yards. The longest play of his career. The two longest have come against the Vikings.
Well, there you go. We talk about being aggressive under center, play action, and just the double move and the speed on the outside by Devontae Smith against Isaiah Rodgers, the former Eagle. That is an element of this offense that I think they can continue to expand. That's a great ball, great play call, and that's a little more of that explosive element of this Eagles offense that we've talked a lot about over the last couple seasons.
Smith's previous career long catch was 63 yards. It was 2 years ago in Philadelphia against this Vikings defense. A 79-yard strike from Hurts to Smith. The former Alabama teammates team up for distance. And after the Vikings stall, the Eagles ball. They're up 12. Well, some frustrations for both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. They each only had one touchdown on the season. Both came in that game against the Rams that you saw, Greg, but nothing doing outside of that. Well, guess what today? Two deep balls against one of the best deep ball defenses in the league. Both touchdowns to Brown and now Smith.
Minnesota Vikings defense, they had only given up 3 completions of air yards over 20 yards. Today alone, they've given up 2 for 116. And we'll see this is the first of 2 touchdowns. That was the first drive to A.J. Brown. And then here's the play action pass. Perfect ball to Devontae Smith. So something you don't see a lot of teams do very often against Minnesota, throw it deep. And when they do, there's not a lot of success to be had. But the 2 biggest plays of today's game have both come through the air downfield. And Jalen Hurts has had himself a really good day.
Perfect passer rating of 158.3. Here's a reverse flea flicker. Jefferson gives it back to Wentz. They covered up Hawkinson. Hawkinson trying to grab it.
Pretty much going to guarantee a PI.
Xavier Scott. Wow, Nakobe Dean comes flying in just his second game of the season. He gets a tackle for loss. He only played on special teams against the Giants in his return from the knee injury. That's a nice play by Dean.
Yeah, playing more as an off-ball backer. We've talked about Campbell being moved to the edge in those base fronts on 1st and 2nd down, and that's how you run downhill, violent to the ball. That's about as good as it gets. And now they'll go nickel here and use this play in the event you need 4th down.
Wentz fires to Naylor and incomplete. Out of the gun. It is Scott with the hop and the drive, and he got hit near the line by Makuba. Big time collision. Scott, the second-year man, Makuba, the rookie.
That's a great tackle there by Makuba. Take a look. He goes down low, cupped the wrist. Good ball security there. But that is a big-time tackle. Ringo, take a listen. Listen to this. You want to play running back in the NFL? No thanks.
So now it's up to Jordan Mason in the backfield. They go 3 tight ends.
He's got to come set. Remember, he's got to come set. He does.
Wildcat snap. It is Mason to the left. Can he win the race there? He looked to be short. Zach Baun running laterally with the back. Mason was there for the stop along with Makuba. It's 3rd down and goal.
Improve your team's chances.
Little copycat league, of course. Xavier Gipson has had a couple of decent returns. He's going to get near the 30-yard line. And that's where Philadelphia will take over. What a thrilling performance by Shohei Ohtani in Game 4. Something that we have never seen before, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to replicate that. The World Series begins with the Dodgers on Fox. They'll know their opponent perhaps tonight. Well, the Mariners and Blue Jays square off, but Game 1 of the World Series coverage begins Friday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
What's the football equivalent? Throwing for like 350 and 3 touchdowns, and then playing defense?
Play defense and get a pick
like
six or something.
Yeah. Like, it's truly remarkable.
That's A.J. Brown. He got drafted by the Padres in his high school days. He's got a touchdown. So does Devontae Smith. Toss play. Barkley into Metellus.
Of course, they take hit injuries in today's world very seriously, as they should.
What a move by Barkley, and one of his best runs of the day. But
you can just feel the energy in the building just pick up following that Mason touchdown. Now they've got a third and a mile, and everybody in this stadium right now is on their feet.
Less than 100 seconds for the third. Here's Hurts stepping up. Flag is thrown far side. Hurts throws near side for Devontae Smith. It will be good for a first down pending the flag.
Yeah, they're going to get Blake Cashman for illegal contact. He knocked down A.J. Brown. They'll decline that penalty and take the reception.
Defense 51. Penalty decline. Resulting play. First down.
Yeah, it's a fine line between disrupting the routes and just two-hand shoving. And remember, you can't contact past 5 yards in the NFL. Nice job here by Jalen Hurts, keeping the play alive. Devontae Smith coming back to his quarterback, and take a look here. Cashman just past 5 yards, just knocks him to the ground. Pretty easy call.
Ends up being a 28-yard pass play. That is the first time that Philadelphia has converted a third down today. That gets him into plus territory. 75 seconds for the third, up by 5. Deep drop, looking for something downfield. Hurts for Smith, and he holds on despite the Smith hit. There is a flag thrown as well.
I'll be interested to take a look at this.
Are they saying that maybe Smith was defenseless?
I don't know where. I'm curious where the contact was. Jalen Hurts hangs in there, takes a big hit.
There's no foul, unnecessary roughness. They're really on the field. It's a completed catch. First down.
And so a receiver who hasn't had time to quote-unquote become a runner is defenseless, but that also indicates that there needs to be forcible contact from Harrison Smith. That did not seem to be forcible, so it's a good pickup of the flag.
Yeah, I think they did a nice job figuring that out. But take a look here at the middle at Metellus. He's underneath this crossing route. But because they're able to get Dallas Goedert, watch it. See how he comes up to guard Goedert? Again, just zone defenders. Always force the ball underneath. Never come guard a 4-yard route and let him throw it 20 yards behind your head.
2 back set here for Philadelphia. Shipley and Barkley. They move Barkley. Hurts underneath. Goedert. Grabbed by Metellus. Forward progress stopped inside the 25-yard line. The clock inside of 40. About a 3-second difference, so they'll have to run one more play. That takes us to the end of the third quarter. In a one-score game as we head to the fourth. Hennepin County, Minneapolis, home of Bob Dylan, Lizzo, and of course the great Prince. We're at US Bank Stadium where we've got a one-score ball game. Energy in the building. Greg talked about it in the third quarter. Finally some life for the Vikings fans. And a key sequence. Third down coming up. A field goal for Philadelphia still keeps this at a one-score game.
Came onto the broadcast. Talking about 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium being one of the coolest matchups of the game. The tendencies of Philadelphia's offense versus the tendencies of Brian Flores in this Vikings defense. And here we are starting the 4th quarter. Critical 3rd down, and Minnesota's late subbing. He's lucky he didn't get called for being offsides.
Making his 3rd start today after the 3-game suspension to begin the year. Here is Mason. Nothing there that time, and Cooper DeJean comes flying in for a TFL. 2nd and long. Third down and 5.
All right, so they go corners over. They got all 3 corners on the same side of the field.
Wentz looks in that direction. He ends up taking the sack, and it's Moro Ojomo. 3rd sack of the season for the 3rd-year man out of Texas, and it comes at a big moment for Philadelphia's defense.
Yeah, and this is something all season long. Man coverage. It's an easy indicator. All 3 corners over your 3 receivers. It's a man look. And Carson Wentz has been so good the whole season and today against zone. Man coverage has been their sticking point in this passing game, and just holds on to the ball a little too long, and Ojomo comes away with a big sack.
The Philadelphia pass rush, which has been anemic this year, gets its 1st sack of the day.
It's 3 over 3 man coverage. All 3 of these guys are defensive backs. Cooper DeJean is pressed. Watch when Jalen Nailor comes. He taps his helmet, and they switch it off. He ends up sticking on Nailor. Typically in those bunches, Adam, when you press the point, the guy pressing on the middle receiver, he usually has him man, and then you just pass off whoever releases inside or outside. You play it like a triangle type of a defense, and great awareness on the short motion. Cooper DeJean makes a check. He takes the in-breaking route off the bunch, and there's just nowhere to go with the ball.
If you heard Greg ever say switch release, those are the kind of concepts that we're talking about, the confused defenses. That was well played by DeJean. Return by Gibson near the 30-yard line. So we told you the NFC North's really good, right? Vikings are right in the thick of it. Philadelphia is still in 1st place in the NFC East, and now a crucial NFC East showdown coming up in America's Game of the Week. Commanders and Cowboys, first time that Jaden Daniels actually gets to go up against Dak Prescott. Remember, Prescott was hurt for both meetings between these 2 clubs last year. Some of you will see Packers-Cardinals, big-time game for Green Bay as well, as they try to stay in the mix of above 500 teams in the NFC North. That's coming up next on Fox. You can check your local listings. Devontae Smith's career high is 169 receiving yards. That was against Washington 3 years ago. 2 of his top 3 receiving games have come against the Vikings in his career. Jonathan Grenard, that might be the first time we have said his name today. He ends up making a big-time stop for a loss of 4 on Saquon Barkley.
All right, so this is what we're talking about, though, of this Flores defense. Look how many guys are up near the line of scrimmage. Only 2 deep safeties. They got 8 bodies within 2 yards of the line, and that's kind of the hallmark of what this defense wants to be pre-snap, and then from there, everything works backwards.
And a bloodied elbow over there, too. Only the 3rd incompletion of the day for Hurts.
Yeah, he's still in the game, though. There he is right there in the slot.
Can't miss him with those bright green shoes. Hurts. Collapsing pocket, got away from Turner, being chased by Turner, throws on the move. It is A.J. Brown, and will they mark him right at the sticks? They will. It's a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, this is as good as we've seen Jalen Hurts play and manipulate the pocket. He's been under a tremendous amount of pressure all game against this Vikings defense. Nice job there by A.J. Brown coming back, keeping his feet in bounds, and that's a big-time conversion.
Now back to the ground, and good run for Barkley to take it to the 48.
Yeah, so the way you kind of evaluate a quarterback under pressure is you kind of put it in like a hierarchy of priorities, right? Number 1, don't turn the ball over. He's been very good at that. Number 2, don't take sacks. Now, Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, some of these quarterbacks that tend to hold the ball a long time, their pressure rates are always going to be a little inflated as a result. And then the third thing is create plays downfield. We just saw all 3 of those on that last 3rd down conversion.
Barkley saw the pressure, spun away, and was able to surge ahead for the first down. Tyler Batty, again, coming off a knee injury, NFL debut today. He was already in the backfield, and Barkley read it from the start.
Just a remarkable move in the backfield. I mean, this is kind of his signature jump cut spin. Let's take a look here at the end of the play.
Fresh set of downs, 47-yard line plus territory. Bigsby is the back. Hurts, looks, throws, open man, Devontae Smith. Nobody was near him when he caught it. And he's down inside the 30. He's got a new career high in receiving.
And again, it just starts with Jalen Hurts having a ton of time. Just a simple big dig. There's nobody defending the middle of the field. I actually think Philly got away with a pretty big hold there on the edge. I thought Dallas Goedert just grabbed. I couldn't tell who it was. Was it Grenard or couldn't tell exactly who it was. He was losing his mind on the official. Couldn't believe they didn't throw a penalty.
183 yards for Smith is the most by an NFL receiver this season. 5 on the pressure. Hurts throws down the seam. A.J. Brown touchdown. His second of the day.
This is the best passing performance we've seen from Jalen Hurts in a really long time. He's on time. He's manipulating the pocket as a scrambler, all while keeping his eyes downfield. A simple double post. Devontae Smith holds the safety. A.J. Brown's the outside post, and look, he just gives him a simple little, sends the motion, clearly knows where he's going to go with that ball versus single high, and this is as good as we've seen Jalen Hurts play.
Minnesota had not given up 200 passing yards all season long. They hadn't given up deep ball touchdowns all season long. And Jalen Hurts hadn't put together a passing performance like this all season long. Today, as many touchdowns as incompletions. 3 incompletions, 3 scores. And A.J. Brown is back for the Eagles. A perfect passer rating. And a 9-point Eagles lead. 2-score advantage, 6.5 to play in Minnesota. Well, this dynamic duo was combined for 259 receiving yards, 12 catches, and 3 touchdowns. The last 3 times that they both had a touchdown in the same game. Today, the Rams game this year, and the Super Bowl victory against Kansas City. From the 9, it's Price. Stays on his feet to get a couple more yards. Back to the key play of that last drive.
Yeah, so the key play, they're on the verge of a 3 and out. It's 3rd and 13. Watch the job Jalen Hurts does here of escaping. They bring only 4-man pressure, but the pocket collapses. But just his ability to manipulate the rushers and then break, contain, allows A.J. Brown to work back to the ball. On 3rd and 13, they pick up 13. I mean, listen to this. We talk about extending the play, inviting pressure on yourself as a quarterback. Today on plays where he's held the ball over 4 seconds, Jalen Hurts 3 for 4, 78 yards and a touchdown. It's all going to be, can they hold up the pressure? Even on that one, as he releases the ball, Carson Wentz is getting knocked to the ground.
It's been a story all day long. Wentz steps up, takes a shot, and it's incomplete for Jefferson, who had Quinyon Mitchell in coverage. 2nd down. Not a bad spot for a shot right there.
No, I like it. Around midfield, typically a spot. 1st down that you'd like to see teams take the shot. Just doesn't put quite enough air on it. And
percent of his passes, league average is like 64, 65. Wentz steps up under pressure, was able to get rid of the football. They're going to rule it incomplete. Took a second before the call was made. Thielen did not complete the process. Stops the clock at 5:08, 3rd down and 10. Does it feel like you're already in 4-down territory at this point?
Yeah.
Because the possessions are winding down now.
Yeah, this is strictly a possessions type of equation. And again, mixed in those possessions, you got to find a way to get a stop.
We'll be back right after this from State Farm.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the strength of this King Henry, but getting that King Henry.
Huzzah! Salutations! I'm here to lead the team. No, I don't want it. No! Sorcery! Behold my majestic strides!
You okay?
No, I am not.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here comes a blitz from Philadelphia. Wentz, back foot, launches for Jefferson, not there. He and Makuba were jockeying for position. It'll be second down.
And again, that all comes down to he can't step into any of these throws. Even though they're not necessarily sacking him or getting to him, they're at his feet. As he's throwing the ball, he's trying to get his legs out of the way. I mean, take a look at the pocket here and what's going on at the feet of Carson Wentz. Ham does a nice job picking up the blitz, but take a look, there's guys everywhere. He's falling backwards. He's trying to protect himself. Because if he gets that ball out there further, Justin Jefferson's got a chance to track it down.
You're in field goal range. A field goal is still a possibility here. That's a bobble and incompletion with Hawkinson. Clock stops at 4:27. Third down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, it's a great point by you, Adam. I mean, right here, of course, you'd love to pick up this 3rd and 10. But right now, Kevin O'Connell's in that headset to Carson Wentz saying, you're going to have an opportunity to push this past the first down mark. There could be no negative plays. You can't take a sack. And if you can just check this ball down and just add to this field goal attempt by making it shorter, he's been able to pick up the first down.
Both on 3rd down. Now he steps into a throw into coverage, and it's incomplete. Quinyon Mitchell covering Jefferson with some safety help from Makuba over the top. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, so this time, little quick jam, zone coverage. He's got his eyes in the backfield. Nice job there by Makuba, the rookie, playing over the top. They're going to try to give Justin Jefferson in these moments. You know where Carson Wentz wants to try to go with the ball. He's already tried to force it to him a few times.
Look at Wentz. We've been saying this all day. I mean, he has taken a pounding from Philadelphia's defense and clearly starting to take its toll, kind of rubbing that shoulder area. But he has passed 300 yards today through the air.
He's only been sacked 1 time today, but just feels like he's been hit a million.
3rd down and 2. Wentz throws on the move, got Hawkinson! Touchdown! T.J. Hawkinson lunging out to secure a crucial score with 3 to play.
3 critical plays on this drive, powered by Carson Wentz's ability to use his legs. Let's take a look here. Full extension. Does he hang on through the ground? Let's see. Hands under the ball. That angle, it doesn't look like it ever touches the turf. They'll take a look at this one upstairs for sure.
Every scoring play is reviewed. They'll take a look to see. Again, it can touch the ground, but the question is, does Hawkinson clearly possess the ball all the way through? It can touch the ground, but if it moves after the hit, then it's a question. So every scoring play is automatically reviewed. They'll take a look at this, and it's a crucial call coming. Mike Pereira is with us from Los Angeles. We'll get a chance to hear what he has to say about this particular play, because obviously it's got a lot of weight on it. Mike is with us. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think it's an incomplete pass. He's going to the ground, and when he hits the ground, then the tip of the ball rolls over and touches the ground. Then the ball comes loose after that. You won't get a great look at it here, because here you'll actually see it looks like the hands are underneath it, but the problem is right there, then the hands do come off of it. And so from our viewpoint here, we think this is probably an incomplete pass.
Well, thanks for that breakdown, Mike.
This is the shot you want to take a look at. Watch here, by the way. Okay, the ball's, we know the ball, the tip of the ball is going to touch the ground there. Now watch the hands come off the ball as we continue on. Watch them come off the ball here.
You know, now, Mike, I agree. It definitely comes out. Does it matter if the ball comes out of his hand after the ball has come back off the ground? Like, is there any conversation about that?
He has to maintain control after he hits the ground. We used to call it survive the ground.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So,
I mean,
as long as he keeps...
The receiver lost possession and hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, good call there by Mike.
Yeah, he's just got to hold on to that ball after he hits the ground, and the hands, it's not, he lost, but hands came off the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just a great job by our cameraman, because there it does look like his hand's under it. Point hits the ball, and you can see clearly loses possession, and I mean, that is about as close as it gets. Interesting decision here now. It's a 9-point game, touchdown and a field goal, and they've got 4th and 2, and as of right now, the offense of Minnesota stays on the field.
You have to convert this or kick the field goal and secure points to make it a one-score game. 1st and goal from the 10. It is Wentz. Under pressure, and down he goes. It's the 2nd sack of the day, and it's Josh Uche with his first as a Philadelphia Eagle.
That ball just needs to be thrown through the uprights. Just can't take the loss. The clock remains moving. Just, it's not there. Just throw it through the uprights, stop the clock, and play 2nd down.
Instead, it's 2nd and 18. They go right back to Hawkinson, back down near the 12. Clock continues to move. Let's see if they try to run this 3rd and goal play. Remember, it's 3rd and goal before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, you want to run as many plays on the plus side of the 2-minute warning. You want to keep your timeouts for your defense. So they've got to get this ball snapped here in the next 5 seconds.
Wentz looks, floats it, incomplete, and that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning, and it'll be 4th and goal. And if you're Kevin O'Connell, you got to get points. I imagine it would be a field goal try on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Decided 2 minutes left. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, so still some stoppages to come. But a lot of this for Minnesota is about missed opportunities, in particular in the red zone, in particular in goal-to-go spots.
Yeah, we've seen it now time and time again. That time, the 4th down touchdown to Naylor gets called back for a hold. They settle for a field goal. The ball's determined to have come loose after hitting the ground on that last possession to Hawkinson. We've seen a bad snap in the early part of the game that made it a 59-yard field goal they fortunately made. So they just go back and look at their opportunities in the red zone, and you know, it sounds like coach speak. Every single team in the league, they stress turnovers and takeaways, and you got to score when you get down close inside the 20.
League average for touchdown rate is around 60%. So 3 out of every time you get into the red zone, you should score a touchdown. 1 out of 6. I mean, that's like 16, 17% or whatever it is. So not a particularly good rate for somebody like Kevin O'Connell, who takes a lot of pride in cashing in. So now, still 3 timeouts, but you get a 1st down or 2 if you're Philadelphia, and all of a sudden this game is salted away.
Yeah, so right now, you got to ask yourself, with how good Jalen Hurts has been, I don't hate throwing the ball on 1st and 2nd down, high completion percentage, and try to put this game away.
Oh, Gibson was trying to get loose. That was a good return. And you're getting close to field goal range as well, which could also put the game away. So before this Jalen Hurts-led drive, Barkley's coming out, Pam Oliver's down to the field.
Yeah, he is definitely trying to find his footing, but Saquon, he was evaluated for a concussion and cleared to return. And Jomo, he has been evaluated now for a concussion.
Yeah, the type of physical game we've seen today. Pam, thanks for that update. We'll check in with Carissa Thompson for a game break.
Thank you, Adam. Letting you guys know what's coming up next. It's America's Game of the Week. Jaden Daniels without Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin looking to get Washington's 4th win on the road against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, who gets his all-pro receiver and CeeDee Lamb back today. It's all coming up next. It's America's Game of the Week. Adam?
We saw the Cowboys last week fall in Charlotte, but we're missing some key pieces. That's a big get today for Dallas in that bunched up NFC East. Philadelphia 4-2, Washington 3-3, Dallas 2-3-1. The Giants got the win last week. They're 2-4. I'm with you, Greg. I'm curious. Is this going to be a throw at any point on this drive to essentially put the game away?
Yeah, both teams kind of checking in and out of formations. Minnesota checked into a different blitz scheme.
They blitz. Play clock's winding down. Play clock's at 0 and a flag is thrown. Did they get a timeout? They did not.
Somebody on the sideline just has to bail your quarterback out. He's got him.
First charge timeout.
All right, they got it.
They did get the timeout. Philadelphia did.
All right, so there you go. So that's a great job. I'm assuming it was Sirianni. That's where in those moments the quarterback just has so much going on. It's a critical third down. You're trying to set the protection. You're trying to identify who the rushers are. Sometimes it's easy to lose track of the play clock, and nice job there by Sirianni bailing them out.
2 timeouts apiece. Clock is stopped. 3rd down and long. One of Jalen Hurts' best passing games in the last 2 seasons.
He's got one-on-one on the top of the screen. A lot of cushion up here with Isaiah Rodgers. One-on-one against A.J. Brown.
It is Hurts launching it. A.J. Brown is loose, and A.J. Brown has it. And that might have sealed the game for Philadelphia on a huge 3rd down conversion to the big-bodied Brown.
Well, it's been the passing game all day versus off coverage. What's Isaiah Rodgers worried about? He's worried about slant. He's standing at the 1st down the gain line, and he's going to drive everything. Max protect, and Jalen Hurts throws that ball about 3 yards before A.J. Brown even gets his head around, knowing that there was going to be a free rusher in his face, and just simply lets him run underneath it for one of many big-time throws we've seen from Jalen Hurts today.
First 300-yard passing game in over a year.
He's been fantastic. I mean, all the questions coming in about this passing game and how do they get A.J. Brown going and what's wrong. So much of the energy is on fixing the run game and Saquon, and of course that will come. But I'll tell you what, you want to win in this league and you want to score points, it's going to come through the pass more often than not. And today, Jalen Hurts had his best performance in a long time.
And this is what Jalen Hurts has done over the course of the day today.
Yeah, he started the game. That was 4th down. Little simple scramble drill. Then here was an under center play action early in the 3rd quarter. Devontae Smith, this was the play of the game. This was 3rd and 13. He escapes the pocket, hits A.J. Brown right at the 1st down to gain, and then later on in the possession, the touchdown to A.J. Brown. You can see his linemen give him a lot of love. Here was that last 3rd down conversion. You want to be a big-time quarterback in this league, Adam. You got to operate under pressure. You've got to operate at the end of the game in must-have-it situations. You got to operate on 3rd and pass. Today, Jalen Hurts has checked the box on all those different opportunities.
This clock down to about 50. They're the offensive leaders for the day. Smith and Brown combining for all 3 touchdown receptions from Hurts, who has his first 300-yard passing game since week 3 last year. And what was a kind of a rock fight game, 15-12 against New Orleans.
Yeah, so for anyone wondering why they're not just taking a knee, they have the math on these situations down to the second. They know by those deep handoffs to Saquon, even though they end up going backwards, it's going to eat up just a couple more seconds each snap. It just allows them to get closer and closer to being able to run this game out without even having to attempt a field goal.
So Philly uses its 2nd timeout. You get a deep handoff here. You can probably burn enough. 6 seconds you burn off. You get to 4th down. Minnesota can't stop it. Game's over.
That's the idea, right? So they're going to add a little time. So it's going to be hard for them to get this under 40 seconds so that they won't have to snap the ball. So here's what they're going to do. Those couple seconds of each of those handoffs to Saquon, of course, have led to negative yards. They add up. They've got 48 seconds here. Hand it off, try to get this as close. All right, now they've changed it to 47. You want to try to get this as close as you can that you can still on 4th down, snap it, kill whatever remaining seconds are left. I don't think under any circumstance you want to line up and attempt a field goal here.
Yeah, with as many block kicks as we've seen in the NFL this year, Philadelphia, one of the beneficiaries of one of those kicks earlier this season. Understandable that you wouldn't want to put your kicking unit in that situation for a potential run back for a touchdown, which would tie the game.
Yeah, so he'll try to burn as much time here before he takes a knee. Bleed the rest of the clock. They still have a remaining timeout. They can get every second out of this. So he's going to stay tall. And they still haven't gotten him down.
Forward progress now gets whistled. Now the clock's inside of 40. It's about right there. About a second difference.
I think they're going to have to call timeout with a second left. This was really good clock management at the end of the game by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Because you can snap it here, hold on to it, bleed it to zero. It's only going to take a second or two and the ball game's over.
Correct.
And Kevin O'Connell is going to look back at the film of this game and all those drives that ended up inside the 20 and inside the 10 that did not lead to 6, but instead led to 3. That's going to be the thing that sticks out for this Minnesota offense today. There it is, down to 2 seconds. That is the key number of this ball game today.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Yeah, that, and don't forget, they threw a first half pick 6.
Yep.
You know, so you add all that up, it is very hard to beat any NFL team, let alone the defending Super Bowl champs. All right, so there's going to be 2 seconds left. They'll just line up to take a knee. Hurts knows to just back up a couple yards, and this game's over.
Welcome those of you who've watched other games across the country. We're getting you set for Commanders Cowboys. Some of you will see Packers Cardinals. Adam Amin, Greg Olson, Pam Oliver here in Minneapolis for a matchup of 2 teams that had a little extra rest. Bye week for Minnesota, coming off a European trip where they went 1-1. Sky was falling in Philadelphia. Sirianni and the Eagles had lost 2 in a row, including 1 on a short week. They got a few extra days rest, and they come back and look like they're about to hold on for a much-needed victory to stay atop the NFC East. Vikings had a bunch of offensive struggles at times with Carson Wentz in his 4th consecutive start, but stayed in this game. Too many field goals, not enough touchdowns is the story of the day. And Jalen Hurts put together a perfect passer rating, the 3rd in Eagles history. Nick Foles, Donovan McNabb, the others, and Jalen Hurts' best passing game in over a year in the regular season leads Philadelphia to a 6-point win. Eagles can settle things down. 3 touchdowns to Smith and Brown. And the Eagles come away with the victory today, 28-22 over the Vikings. For Greg Olson, for Pam Oliver, the wonderful women and men of our Fox Sports crew, I'm Adam Amin. You'll have the State Farm Game Break coming your way with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles in moments before America's Game of the Week. Kurt, it's all yours, bud.